mom and I just got back on Thursday night from an amazing trip, but I was so jet lagged that I basically couldn't do much on Friday. I couldn't really stay vertical for very long. And then early on Saturday, we dropped my mom off at the airport. We went to breakfast, and then we had to go through our garage to take some old paint cans and light bulbs to our town's hazardous materials collection at the park. And by the time we got home, I was so pooped again that all I wanted to do was take a nap. So it wasn't until Sunday that I faced my suitcase and hand luggage and the very unpleasant task of unpacking them. Packing for a trip can be tough. You want to make sure that you're not forgetting anything you'll really need, right? Anything that you can't easily and cheaply get at your destination. But it's a kind of stress that's held in check by the fact that you're going on a trip. It's something you've been looking forward to. You have fun and exciting expectations. You're excited to get there and get started already. But coming home and having to unpack, that's one of the things I least look forward to. I always get a bit blue when I return home after a great trip, especially if I've been to visit friends or family. And unpacking feels then like a chore. And I would love to just leave it, just put it off. It's one of the times when I think of the show Downton Abbey, where they had servants who would pack and unpack for them. What a great luxury. Yeah. But we don't live in Downton Abbey. And even if you do have a housekeeper who could help you unpack, does she know where to put things away for you? How you like your stuff to be folded or hung exactly? Which belt should go where in your drawer? So the chore of unpacking falls largely to you. And if you're unpacking for your little kids too, that's a double chore. So in today's episode, I want to walk you through the tips that I have that make unpacking loads easier, even, dare I say, simple. This is episode 107 of Organizing for Beautiful Living. And today we're talking about something that I think a lot of us dread: coming home from a trip and dealing with the suitcase. Whether you just got back from a week away visiting family, long weekend with friends, or a work trip, that open suitcase sitting in the corner of your bedroom gnaws away at you. It makes you feel some anxiety every time you walk in and you see it. But by the end of this episode, you'll have 9 practical tips that make unpacking faster, lighter, and a whole lot less likely to end with your suitcase living on the floor for 2 weeks while you just fish things out of it every once in a while. Okay? So let's get into it. Tip number 1 is to unpack the same day you get home. I know. You just got home, you're tired, maybe you're jet lagged, maybe it's already 10 o'clock at night. I get it. But here's what I found. The longer that suitcase sits there unopened or even just half open, the bigger it gets in your head. It becomes a thing. It becomes that task hovering on your mental to-do list that you keep meaning to get to. And every time you walk past it and you don't deal with it, it does a little bit of energy damage to you, even if you don't consciously notice it. So even if you can't do a full unpack the same day you get home, do the quick stuff. Grab the dirty laundry and toss it straight into the hamper or straight into the wash. Pull out your toiletries. Handle whatever takes a minute or less. You wake up the next morning with a clearer head, and then the rest of the unpack will feel a whole lot more manageable. The post-trip blues are a real thing. And honestly, the antidote to them is often just doing the thing rather than letting it linger. Now, I'm a visual thinker, and the feeling of what a suitcase sitting there feels like is like a gray cloud following you, like Eeyore, and it stays over you during your first few days at home. So to make that feel a little easier, start with the easy things: your toothbrush and your toiletry bag, maybe your medications, that kind of thing, just to get the momentum started. Tip number 2, set up a suitcase station. So have a spot for your suitcase close to where most of your things need to go. And I'm assuming for most of us, that's the bedroom, since most of what we pack comes from our closet and the bathroom. So this could be a chair in your bedroom or even better, a foldable luggage rack. I love foldable luggage racks because you fold them and you put them away when you're not using them. So they don't take up permanent square footage in your room. And they're really useful when you have guests. So you set one up in the guest room and your visitor can live partially out of their suitcase without stacking it on the bed or dumping it on the floor. It makes people feel welcome, like they have a real spot. Okay. And it allows you to have your suitcase at a good working height, close to your closet or bathroom instead of on the floor. And that just makes the whole process feel less like an obstacle course where you're like climbing over your suitcase to put stuff away or tripping over piles of clothes on the floor. Tip number 3 is to bring a laundry basket to your unpacking station. This is one of those so obvious, it shouldn't need saying tips, but here it is anyway, because I've seen what happens without it. Have a laundry basket right next to you as you unpack. So as soon as a piece of clothing comes out of the suitcase and it's dirty, it goes straight into the basket. Done. It never touches the floor. It never gets piled on the chair. It never ends up back in the drawer because you couldn't decide if you actually wore it or not. No piles, clean as you go. Tip number 4, have a bag or basket for things going to other rooms. Same logic. When you're unpacking and you pull out something that belongs in another room, like a book that needs to go on the bookshelf in the living room, or a toy that belongs in the playroom, or a charger that has to go to your home office, drop it into a collection bag or basket instead of making 5 separate trips around the house, or worse, leaving those things piled up in your bedroom. So once you're done unpacking your stuff, you do one efficient loop of the house and you just drop things off. It keeps the process moving, it keeps the mess contained, and it keeps you from having to walk back and forth a dozen times. Tip number 5, know where everything goes before it comes out of the suitcase. Okay, so this is the big one. This is the foundation that makes all the other tips work really well or not. If every single item you own has a specific, easy to get to home in your house, unpacking is almost mindlessly fast. You pull something out, you know exactly where it goes, you put it there, and you're done. But when things don't have clear homes, or when your drawers are already so jam packed that there's no room to actually put things away, that's where the friction creeps in. Friction, meaning that there's something that is making it hard for you to put your stuff away. It's not smooth or easy. That's when things end up lingering in that open suitcase for days, or on the floor of the closet, or draped over that chair that we all have. So the real foundation of easy unpacking is an organized closet and bathroom. It doesn't have to be a perfectly aesthetically organized closet and bathroom, right? I'm not talking a matching bins and labels situation necessarily, just one where everything has a spot and you can easily access it. Minimal friction to put stuff away is what you're going for. So your clothes, your shoes, your accessories, the jewelry, your travel gear, like your travel pillow and your carry-on bag, all of it should have a specific home that is easy to reach and easy to put things away into. And the bonus of this is that when your closet and bathroom are organized like this, packing for trips gets faster too. You open a drawer, you can see exactly what you have, and you can make quick decisions about what to take. No digging around or second guessing or spending ages trying to find the one face serum you've been waiting to try, but now you can't find it. So if unpacking has always felt like a struggle, it might be worth asking whether the real issue is that there's nowhere obvious or nowhere easy to put things away. If your drawer is already jammed up and you're coming home with 5 more t-shirts to squeeze in, well, of course it feels hard. That's creating friction before you even start with the unpacking. So before your next big trip, it's really worth spending some time decluttering and organizing your closet, your bathroom, and wherever you store your suitcases, okay? That single investment will make every trip, both the packing end and the unpacking end, it'll make those things lighter. And if you need help, then book some time with me. A 2-hour virtual session might be all you need to figure out how to really declutter and organize your closet quickly. I'll put that link to schedule your free consultation with me in the show notes if you're interested in that. Okay, so take a look there. I'm telling you, just 2 simple hours can make such a big difference in being able to unpack and unpack faster and easier. Okay. Tip number 6, apply the same thinking to your kids' things. So if you travel with little kids, packing and unpacking their things can feel like a second job, can't it? I remember hunting for that one specific stuffed animal that has to come on the plane or the tablet or those particular headphones. If there are specific things that your kids need for travel, it's worth knowing ahead of time what those things are and exactly where they live at home, like where they live at the end of every single day. So when it's time to pack, you can round them up quickly and drop them into the carry-on. So avoiding the hunting and last minute scrambles is what avoids the stress before you even start out on a trip, right? And when you unpack after the trip, those things go straight back to their permanent spots. If those spots exist and everyone in the house knows where they are, the whole thing takes just minutes. Tip number 7, keep a dedicated travel toiletries set. This has really simplified my life, especially in the days when I was traveling a lot for work. So instead of going through your bathroom before every trip trying to decide what to decant into travel size containers or which of your many products to pack, just keep a dedicated travel pouch with your travel sized versions of your go-to products already in it. And maybe when you unpack, you might not even need to unpack the toiletries pouch at all. You just refill it before your next trip and it just lives in its spot ready to go all the time. That pouch should have a permanent home, by the way, maybe on a shelf in your bathroom closet or in a drawer. But it lives somewhere specific and it stays packed between trips. And the same thing applies to your travel skincare routine. Know ahead of time which products you always take on a trip. Not just theoretically, like I need a moisturizer and a face sunscreen, but specifically which ones. You can write it down or already set it aside in your mini travel kit. So there's no more staring at your full bathroom drawers before a flight and trying to make 30 small decisions. It's decided already, it's packed, and you're ready. Now, I have a very simple skincare routine and I don't use much makeup. So for me, it's especially simple. But even if you love makeup, you can create a small trips only set that works for most trips, like most work trips, for example. And then, yes, if you are going for a special occasion, a wedding, you might want to add certain things to that kit. Okay. Tip number 8, keep duplicate phone and laptop chargers at home. If you travel with any regularity, this tip is really worth it. Keep chargers at home that never travel. Your travel chargers can live in your travel bag. Your home chargers live at your desk or in your nightstand. When you unpack, there's nothing to hunt for and nothing to put away because the home charger never left. You're set. And the same thinking applies to any cable you use daily if possible. Your everyday cables can just stay put. Your travel cables are already always in a travel electronics pouch, let's say. And tip number 9 is to give your medications a permanent home that they always return to. Medications that travel with you should have a specific permanent home in your house, like a bin in your bathroom cabinet or a basket on a shelf, whatever makes sense for your medications setup. When you unpack, you take the medication container and you drop it back into its spot. Done. So it doesn't sit out on the bathroom counter for a week. It doesn't migrate to the kitchen counter and then get shuffled around there. It has a home and it goes there. That's the whole system. This is really all of it. The Clear 5 assign homes principle applied to one of those things that tends to be an afterthought, unpacking. But when things have a home, they just go there. So again, that medication spot has to be decluttered. So there's no friction though, right? Right. So I want to mention clearly what all these tips have in common because this is what's important. Almost every single tip on this list works because of one thing. When your things have specific, easy to access homes, putting them away requires almost no decision making. You're not figuring out where something goes or how to make room to make it fit, or you're not feeling that anxiety of, I have to do the laundry and then it's such a chore to hang things up afterwards because my closet is tight and my drawers don't fit things. No, you're not struggling to find a hanger for that skirt or trying to squeeze those pajamas into a full drawer that won't close all the way. You're just doing it, just literally dropping things where they go, closing the door, and moving on. And when things don't have homes, or when the drawer is too full, when the toiletries are kind of wherever, when your kids' travel toys are spread across 3 different spots in your house, that's when unpacking stalls. Every item becomes a decision, and those decisions add up fast and they become a little overwhelming. So, if there's one thing to take from today, it's this: an organized home doesn't just make your daily life easier, it makes your travel life easier too. It makes it easier for you to be able to travel and to enjoy the travel process without overthinking the unpacking at the end, okay? Both ends of every trip, the packing and the unpacking, get lighter when you know where everything lives. And let me tell you, when you're already dealing with sad emotions at the end of a great trip, you don't want a messy bedroom with your open suitcase and stuff spilling out of it. That's just going to keep your mood blah. It's going to make you feel better to have a neat and clear and tidy bedroom, okay? So let me run through the 9 tips again quickly. 1, unpack the same day you get home, at least the dirty laundry and the toiletries. Don't let those sit and grow in your head. 2, set up a suitcase station close to your closet and bathroom. A foldable luggage rack works really well for this. 3, bring a laundry basket right next to where you unpack. Dirty things go straight in there. 4, have a bag or basket for things that belong in other rooms. So you do one efficient loop at the end instead of a dozen small trips to put things away. 5, know where everything goes before it comes out of the suitcase. This is the big one. An organized closet and bathroom make unpacking almost automatic. 6, give your kids' travel things permanent homes, so packing them up and putting them away afterwards is super easy. 7, keep a dedicated travel toiletries set that lives already packed and ready to go between trips. 8, keep a duplicate phone and maybe a laptop charger at home so your everyday cables never have to be packed or unpacked. And 9, give your medications a permanent spot that they always return to. Those are the 9 tips. Most of them take about 10 seconds once the systems are in place. And that's exactly my point here. Unpacking should take minutes, not days. So, is there a tip here that you'd share with a friend, especially a friend who also feels the blues after coming home from a great trip like I do? Well, then please send her this episode. It might be the most useful thing she hears this week. And if you would like some help to get your closet or bathroom decluttered and organized so your packing and unpacking can be without friction, very simple, then set up a quick consultation with me. You can pick a time at fireflybridge.com/schedule. I have that link in the show notes for you. A 2-hour virtual session is amazing for this. So listen, if you're planning a trip for the summer, then keep this episode in mind, okay? Have a beautifully organized week. I'm Z, and I'll see you on the next episode.